My people, let's enter this story properly, and please, as you're listening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next update. So here is the situation unfolding in Taraba State. The headline says, "Shocking update, Taraba residents stop Fulani Bandit advance in bold move." And when you hear that kind of headline, you already know the story is deep. It's not something light. It's something that touches communities, affects families, affects security, and shows how people in Nigeria sometimes must take bold actions to protect their homes. In Taraba, tension has been high in several communities for a long time. People have been living with fear because of repeated threats and worries about possible attacks. Some villages have been hearing rumors that armed men may be heading in the direction, and when you hear such things, the whole community becomes alert. People start staying awake at night, watching their surroundings, checking who is coming in and out, and relying on each other to stay safe. Now, what makes this particular gist strong is that residents did not wait for trouble to reach their doorstep before acting. According to what we know from recent happenings in Taraba, people have been working closely with security teams to protect themselves. In some areas, whenever suspicious movement is spotted, maybe strange motorcycles, unusual groups moving at night, or sounds that don't feel normal, villagers quickly alert the army or local security volunteers. And please, as you are enjoying this story, kindly like this video and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Now, in many parts of Taraba, especially around the areas that have experienced tension before, places like Karim Lamido, Takum, Usa, and some surrounding villages, communities have become more organized. They now have people who serve as early warning guards. These are not fighters. They are just community members who watch the environment, observe the bush paths, check the roads, and pay attention to any unusual movements. That simple alertness has saved many lives. So when we talk about a resident stopping a bandit advance, we are talking about people who refused to be taken by surprise. People who told themselves, not again. This time, if anything unusual is happening, we will speak up quickly. And everything ties into the recent events where soldiers have been conducting operations and responding fast anytime they get information. In one of the major incidents recently, troops confronted a group of armed men in Usmanu village in the Karim Lamido area. Weapons were recovered, motorcycles were seized, and some suspected fighters were neutralized. It showed clearly that the security forces are very active in that region right now. So imagine the combination. Communities staying alert, residents sharing information quickly, soldiers responding fast, villagers refusing to run or give up their land. All of that together builds a strong defense, and that is how situations like the one in the headline happen. Residents stopping an advance before it becomes a disaster. Please don't forget, like this video and subscribe. Thank you. Right, now let's go deeper because the gist is long and interesting. For months, some communities in Taraba have been saying that they were hearing whispers of possible attacks. Some people had even left their homes because they were afraid. They said things like, "Our village only exists in our memory now," meaning the fear had become so much that they didn't feel safe returning. When people live with that level of fear and then suddenly they are able to stand strong and stop an advance, it becomes a big story. It's a story of courage, unity, and survival. And you know, Nigerians, when it becomes a story of survival, everybody wants to hear the full gist. Another thing that makes this more interesting is that the military has been working to clear criminal hideouts around the area. Anytime villagers see strange footprints or motorcycle tracks in the bush, or anytime they hear that unfamiliar sound of gunfire far away, they alert the nearest military post. This cooperation is what makes the whole story powerful. Before now, many communities in Nigeria used to suffer silently because they felt nobody would come to help them. But now, people are more connected. They know which security numbers to call, they know which local volunteers to alert, and they know that information can save their community. Again, please hit the like button and subscribe because updates like this keep all of us informed. Now let's talk about the human side of this story.
the emotional side.
Imagine a father standing outside at night, listening carefully because he wants to make sure his children sleep safely. Imagine a mother who collects her children's school uniforms in the evening because she's not sure if school will open tomorrow. Imagine farmers who cannot go far into the bush because they fear what they might meet. This is the reality in many villages, but despite that fear, they still stand strong. They still refuse to abandon their land permanently. They still farm. They still fetch water. They still continue their life as much as possible. That strength is what allows them to organize themselves and stop trouble before it comes too close. And do you know what makes the whole story even bigger? The fact that some suspected collaborators were even arrested recently, including someone reported to be a police officer who might have been helping criminals. Now, whether those claims are true or not will be for investigators to decide, but the fact that such a thing even comes up shows how complicated security issues can be. In a place where people fear both the criminals in the bush and the possibility of betrayal from within, people must rely heavily on each other. Trust becomes everything. So when villagers say, "No, we will stand together," it becomes powerful. It becomes a message not just for Taraba, but for the whole country. And my people, please like and subscribe. Support this kind of reporting. It helps the conversation grow. Now let's talk about how this kind of incident affects other states. When people in nearby states hear that villagers in Taraba stood strong and stopped an advance, it encourages them. Communities in Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, Kaduna, and even Zamfara begin to see that unity is one of the most powerful tools. When people come together, share information, remain alert, and cooperate with the security agencies, they reduce the chances of surprise attacks. This is how change begins. Not just by waiting for help, but by working together with the help that is available. Let me also tell you this. Many times, these successful community defenses start with very small actions. Maybe a young boy notices strange footprints on the farm path. Maybe a hunter hears a motorcycle sound in an area where motorcycles don't normally pass at night. Maybe a woman carrying water sees unfamiliar faces near the river. All these small signals matter. They can prevent something big from happening. That is why this headline is powerful. It shows the strength of ordinary people. It shows that Nigerians, when pushed to the wall, always find a way to protect their community.